ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Tonight we celebrate a time in America where patriotism was abundant, sacrifice was a way of life, and even in complex times, entertainment was simple. In addition to your favorite patriotic numbers, we'll bring you back to the day of Bob Hope and those memorable USO shows. The shows always began and ended with thanks for the memories. Well, tonight we say thanks to the veterans who have served this country, and thanks to all of you for coming.
For this is my country, to have and to hold.
In 1997, Bob Hope was awarded official status as an honorary member of the U.S. military for his over 50 years of service entertaining the troops with those memorable and famous USO shows. That work continued into his 90s, and he called this his most humbling honor. The format for the shows was always the same: some singing, some dancing, some beautiful women, and of course that self-deprecating sense of humor that was so unique to Bob. You remember this music? The melodies of Les Brown and his band of renown? Well, that can only mean one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Bob Hope.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we're gonna pay tribute to these great Americans serving our country here. We're gonna bring on some unbelievable entertainment. But to start this show off right, let's have the chorus sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, that was great. Isn't it nice to get up and sing that along with a chorus like this? I wasn't even tempted once to bet on whether this guy would hit the high note or not. You know, the Air Force spared no expenses getting us in here. They flew me in on my own private airplane. Now, I don't want to complain, but I think it was a little bit old. How do I know that? The pilot's scarf kept whipping me in the face. Last week out over the Pacific, we had to make a forced landing. And forced landing is like aviation terminology for why didn't I go to church last Sunday? You know, that Air Force, they're really something. They take an extra hour and they shove this backpack on your back. Then they put you in this airplane. There's a parachute in this thing. And then they take off and they fly so low that if something did go wrong, you wouldn't even get an umbrella open. You know, tonight, we're going to kick off this show with a medley from the armed forces. And in this medley is different divisions of the military song. Current active members and retired people, when your division song comes up, please stand up and be acknowledged. The Air Force, the Armed Forces medley.
1, 2,
From the rising of the sun till the battle's fought and won, we will fight for the right and defend our country. We're
Coast Guard members, veterans, stand up.
We place our trust in thee.
They're well hit.
Through howling hail and shot and shell, to win our victory. Semper Paratus is our guide, our pledge, our motto too. We're always ready, do or die. I, Coast Guard, we fight for you, for you. From the halls of Montezuma
And the Marines.
to the shores of Tripoli,
There they are.
we will fight our country's battle in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Anchors aweigh,
And the
my
Navy.
boys.
Look at them all. Thank you.
Farewell to college shores, we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the
Army, how are you? There they are. Look at them all.
Army's on its way. Shout out your name, sound and strong. For where'er we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along. Oh, off we go.
And you know who? The Air Force.
Climbing high into the sun. When the drums soon to meet our thunder, and the boys give the gun, down we dive, spouting a flame from under, off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, or down in flames, or nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. America, America, America.
Thank you. All you servicemen, stand up one more time and be recognized. That's fantastic. Thank you for your service.
You who have served and are serving is what makes America proud. And speaking of proud, here's a quartet from amongst our group that is here to sing you a American classic, a new song that Lee Greenwood made famous.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there is pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
You know, the USO shows actually started out as a result of a radio program that I chose to broadcast from some military bases out in California in 1941, right after World War II broke out. It was a tense time, and I soon came to realize that the soldiers enjoyed laughing at me, and they enjoyed laughing at themselves. I was really excited to hear that I'd been requested to continue on with these broadcasts at military bases. Problem was, is the request came from all my civilian audiences. But I did what I needed to. What I did on them USO tours was lame. It was really pale in comparison to the sacrifice that them soldiers were making out there. But I was happy to do my part, and I figured if I had to lay an egg for my country, I could do it. Now, all you fellows out here are kind of wondering, what's going on? All you've seen so far is a bunch of men. Well, right now, we're going to put a stop to that. In them early days, our USO shows were radio programs, but we brought in big bands and musical guests, all to accompany my spectacular humor. We brought in the Andrews sisters, the McGuire sisters, the Cordettes. And in that tradition, here's a group from the Detroit Lakes area to sing some of those favorite female quartets, Something Special.
Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him the word that I'm not a rover. Then tell him that my lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, Mr. Sandman, bring us us a dream.
Give him a
pair of eyes with a come hither gleam.
Give him a
lonely heart like Pagliacci. And lots of wavy hair like Liberace. Sandman, someone to hold. 'Twould be so peachy before we're too old. Please turn on your magic beam.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, please, please. Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream. Bring us a dream.
Ladies, that was just wonderful. Kind of reminds me of the days back when we used to tour with the Andrews sisters. You know, times were really changing then.
Oh, really?
Skirts were on the way out. They thought USO tours meant use slacks only. You know, I have to admit to you girls, I've always had a way with the ladies.
Oh, really?
Yep, always. But it's always been their way.
See, girls, these guys are all the same. So full of themselves, but cute.
I can't help it. When I was born, the doctor turned to my mom and said, "Congratulations, you now have an 8-pound ham." Ladies, sing us another one of them good old songs.
A good man is hard to find. You always get the other kind. Just when you think that he's your pal,
You turn around and find you messing with some other gal.
and then you rave, you even crave to see him laying in his grave. So if your man is nice, take my advice.
Hug him in the morning.
Kiss him every night.
Give him lots of loving.
Treat him right.
Because a good man nowadays is hard to find. A good man is hard to find. You always get the other kind. Just when you think that he's your pal, you turn around and find him fooling around some other gal, and then you rave, you even crave to see him laying in his grave. So if your man is nice, take my advice. Hug him in the morning, kiss him every night.
Give him plenty loving and treat him right.
Because a good man nowadays is hard to find. A good man nowadays is hard to find. Hard to find.
Grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, comes a stealing, and it sets my brain a-reeling when I'm listening to the music of a military band. Any tune like Yankee Doodle simply sets me off my noodle. It's that patriotic something that no one can understand. Red, white, and blue, we are for you. Honest, you're a grand old flag. You're a grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Red, white, and blue, we are for you. Keep your eye on the grand old flag. Grand old flag.
It's always great for me to see an American flag as opposed to that other flag that I salute so frequently. The golf flag. You know, my golf game is so bad, I once asked Arnold Palmer what I could do to improve it. He suggested that I cheat. You know, it's always been my goal to shoot my age. I'm getting closer every year. Right now, I'm shooting my weight. Do you golf? If you golf and thinks it's a relaxing sport, you're playing the game wrong. You know, it's been suggested to me that I take up bowling. And bowling does have some advantages. It's a lot harder to lose the ball. You know, I've had the opportunity to golf with Gerald Ford. Good man. And they always say that behind every good man is a great woman, and that's so true of Betty. And come to think of it, when you golf with Gerald Ford, that is the best place to be, is right behind him. Tonight, I promised you dancers. And I'll bet you thought that we had a lineup of real long-legged, sexy ones here. Well, you're close. Well, you're not very close at all. You know, the Rockettes were busy. The Just for Kicks kids couldn't make it. But we do have is a song about a dance. And if you feel so inclined to get up and dance, go right ahead. This is the song called the Beer Barrel Polka, and it is featured by the quartet Notified.
There's a garden, what a garden, only happy faces bloom there, and there's never any room there for a worry or a gloom there. Oh, there's music and there's dancing and a lot of sweet romancing. But when they play the polka, they all get in the swing. Every time they hear that oom-pa-pa, everybody feels so tra-la-la. They want to throw their cares away. They all go la-dee-ah-dee-ay when they hear the rumble on the floor. It's a big surprise they're waiting for, and all the couples form a great big ring. 4 miles around, you'll hear them sing. They'll sing, roll out the barrel, We'll have a barrel of fun. Lots of fun. Roll out the barrel. We got the blues on the run. Zing, zing, boom, torero. And roll the barrel. Ring out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, for the gang's all here. Roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Lots of fun. Roll out the barrel. We got the blues on the run. Zing, zing, boom, torero. And roll the barrel. Ring out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, for the gang's all here. Hey!
You know, one of my favorite parts of doing these tours is getting to know some of the soldiers out there. You, son, come on up here. Hey. Hello. What's your name?
Bobby Ray Jackson, sir.
Bobby Ray. Where are you from, Bobby?
Oh, I'm from Louisiana, New Orleans, yeah.
Ah.
Almost forgot.
New Orleans, one of my favorite towns. You know, that's a town where I can get booze with a Z, opposed to the booze I get from my audiences. You know, that's a great town.
Yeah.
I bet you really kind of miss it.
I sure do, Bob. I really miss my mama's jambalaya, and I miss my dog Rex, and I miss my girlfriend. and there sure is no place like my old hometown.
No, there's not.
No.
I have seen the bright lights burning up and down on old Broadway, and I've seen them in gay Havana, Birmingham, Alabama, and say they just can't compare so fair with my hometown, New Orleans. 'Cause there you'll find the old Tin Roof Cafe, where they play the blues till break of day. See fascinating people hanging round, dancing to the meanest band in town. Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, how they can play the blues, play those blues. Well, if the leader man starts playing slow, everybody hollers, go man, go. Be dancing and commotion, feel the beat. Then the leader man says, stomp your feet. Lord, oh Lord, I got the tin roof blues, oh them blues. And when I think about New Orleans, and I always will, I even can remember how I got my fill of dancing to the blues till the break of day on the old dance floor of the Tin Roof Cafe. They begin a song that's soft and slow. People started singing sweet and low, and they were really harmonizing, made it ring. How I long to hear those people sing. Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, I got the tin roof, top of my head to the tip of my shoes. Lord, I got the tin roof balloon. The tin roof tumble-down shack still there. Those days have gone, the memories linger on like golden dreams hanging round. I miss that old gang, those smiles as they sang on the corner in my hometown. I miss that old gang, those chords that we rang. How I miss my old hometown. Miss that When your world is turned around, why not smile? Don't wear a frown. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you'll just smile. You must keep on smiling. Cry, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile. Worthwhile. A smile is still worthwhile. Smile is still worthwhile. Come on, smile.
Wow, we've had a good show so far, but things are only just beginning. You're going to want to make sure that you stick around for the second act and the star-studded cast that is featured. So take a few moments and stretch your legs, and we'll be back in 8.5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying our show, and we thank you so very much for coming. We certainly love to honor the veterans that are in our audience, and we want to thank them for their service. One slight advertisement that we're going to throw at you, though. If you haven't had enough of the barbershop quartets or the barbershop entertainment, we do invite you to our Afterglow, which is immediately across the hall in the ballroom. Now, I'll tell you, sometime this afternoon, I picked up 240 cookies. I'm diabetic. My wife says, don't you dare. So we invite you, if you choose to come there, and enjoy a little more barbershop. Thank you for this evening.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. My home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, my home.
Welcome back. You know, our shows have spanned over several decades, ranging from the 40s and World War II all the way to the recent conflicts in Iraq and the Middle East. So I've heard a lot of music. I've seen a lot of the world. To keep our show moving, we now welcome a quartet of ladies from the Fargo-Moorhead area who will sing songs that represent the range of music that we've heard. Here's Audra, Mavis, Megan, and Anna in the group Forte.
Boo ba boo da zoom 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 zoom. Boo ba boo da zoom 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 zoom. Boo ba boo da zoom 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 zoom. Boo ba boo ba. Way down south in Birmingham, I mean south in Alabama's an old place where people go to dance the night away. They all drive or walk for miles to get jive, that southern style slow jive that makes you want to dance till break of day. It's a junction way down south where the town folks meet, oh yeah, at each function. In their best they Junction now, while way down south in Birmingham, I mean south in Alabama's an old place where people go to dance the night away. They all drive or walk for miles to get jive, that southern style, slow jive that makes you want to dance till break of day. It's a junction way down south where the town folks meet, oh yeah, at each function. In their best, they'll greet you. Come on down, forget your care, come on down. You'll find me there, so long town. I'm heading for Tuxedo Junction now. Feeling low, rockin' slow. Wanna go, 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 go back where I belong. Tuxedo Junction. We've had laughter and love, we've had music and rhyme, and though I'll be gone for a long, long time, I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through, all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
That was great, ladies. I've heard that song performed by many, many performers. Joe Stadford, Frank Sinatra, Rosemary Clooney.
Oh, it must have been such a pleasure to be able to travel with all of those big stars, Mr. Hope.
Oh, it was great, but it just wasn't the big stars. We had athletes, politicians, some movie stars, and we even had an astronaut. And I have to tell you, I was most impressed with that astronaut, Neil Armstrong. You know, he left his footprints up there on the moon. And I thought it was a big deal when Tony Bennett left his heart in San Francisco. You know, girls, I gotta go powder my nose right now. We got that crew out back here that refurbished the Statue of Liberty. They're gonna take a crack at it. Why don't you sing us one more song and then I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, can you believe that we're actually singing for Bob Hope? I mean, did you see the way he was looking at me?
Well, no wonder. I mean, you were flirting with him big time.
It happens. Flirty eyes, I've got those flirty, flirty eyes. How I wish I had the nerve to look at you and say, I've got those flirty eyes, and honey, you'd be surprised. These eyes can hypnotize any guy I idolize. And with one little glance, you really don't stand a chance. I'll put you in a trance for romance, sweet romance. Now I'm magical and mystical, working my charms on you. But you're not amused and seem confused. Are you wondering what to do? You'd better realize I think that you're quite a prize. I'm telling no white lies with my flirty, flirty eyes. Good morning, sir, and how are you today? My heart is pounding in a lovely way. My knees are weak, I cannot speak, and much to my dismay. Oh, how I wish I had the nerve to look at you and say, I've got those flirty eyes, and honey, you'd be surprised. These eyes can hypnotize any guy I idolize. And with one little glance, you really don't stand a chance. I'll put you in a trance for romance, sweet romance. Now I'm magical and mystical, working my charms on you. But you're not amused and seem confused. Whoa. Are you wondering what to do? Well, you'd better realize I think that you're quite a prize. I'm telling no white lies with my flirty, flirty eyes. Now I'm not trying to be wise, but I know how to get the guys. Learn how to utilize my great big flirty lips that flutter as a blue, lashes long and curly too. Do you dare to look into my eyes? Wonderful eyes.
There, how am I looking? You know, I spent a lot of time with the cameraman here this morning trying to figure out what was my best angle. They decided, though, that I should face my audience once in a while. Well, our next guest, wow, what can I say? She's got assets like an adorable face. Just a pretty looking girl. But that's not all. She's the whole package. She's on TV, she's on the radio, she's in movies, and she's one of the most sought after movie stars in Hollywood right now. But she still is the kind of girl that any of you soldiers would love to take home to your mother. Please welcome America's sweetheart, the one, the only Doris Day.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart what lies ahead. what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
That was absolutely beautiful, Doris. Thank you for joining our show.
Well, it's an honor to be here this evening with all of these heroes in the audience.
Yes, it is. Doris, I have to admit, while you sang that song, I was just completely sucked into it. I felt as if you were singing that song right to me.
Oh, Bob, you're so delusional.
Well, Doris, if you were going to sing a song, what song would you choose?
Melancholy Baby.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. Why did you pick Melancholy Baby for me?
Well, your face is like a melon. Oops. Your head is like a melon. Your face is like a collie.
Oh. You know what? I'm the one who's supposed to be telling the jokes around here. Now you get back to singing. And here's a #1 hit for Doris Day in 1954, another Sammy Fain song, My Secret Love.
Once I had a secret love that lived within the heart of me. All too soon my secret love became impatient to be free. So I told a friendly star the way the dreamers often do, just how wonderful you are and why I'm so in love with you. Now I shout it from the highest hill, even told the golden daffodil. At last my heart's an open door, and my secret love's no secret anymore. golden daffodil. At last my heart's an open door, and my secret love no secret anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Doris Day.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years, thy alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, 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 God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America, America.
I've heard that song sung by countless singers, and it never gets old. It always brings a lump right here in my throat. I love that song, except one time when Truman's daughter sung it. Man, did she have a tin ear. You know, I've had the fortune to meet a lot of presidents over the years, and they all tried to get me involved in politics, but I kind of stayed right down the middle of the road, just like a good Arizona driver. Spring of the year comes by, and I'm reminded of baseball season. And baseball season reminds me of Richard Nixon when he threw the first pitch out. He threw it right at Tip O'Neill. And who will ever forget the inauguration of Jimmy Carter? The only time I ever heard "Hail to the Chief" played by a jug band. And the Reagan administration, I'm going to have to say, when I look back at the Reagan administration, Nancy, she was it. One time, though, Nancy was asked about what she thought about Red China. It turned out that she had really, really negative feelings about Red China. But in the end, it didn't match any of the decor in the dining room in the White House. You know, no tribute to the presidentship of the United States would be complete without mentioning the man who brought the office of the presidentship into the television era. that would be John F. Kennedy. And when I think of John F. Kennedy, I can't help but to think of his brother-in-law, Peter Lawford, Frank Sinatra, and all them boys of the Rat Pack. We are so fortunate tonight to have one of them original guys with it. He may be small in stature, but he's a giant in the entertainment industry. Please welcome Sammy Davis Jr.
Hey, Bob. Bob, now you told me I would be in Las Vegas tonight. This is not Las Vegas. Did you know that I sat behind 3 chickens and a goat?
Normal traffic.
Hey, Bob.
What?
Bob.
What?
Hey, come on. Come
No,
on, come
what?
on here.
Go.
Did you see what he was wearing? It's a war zone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing tonight? So good to have you in this fine establishment. This first song I'll sing, you know, I've been in showbiz for 40 years, and it took me 40 years to get a #1 song, and when I did it with this one, and it was a sweet one. Who can take the sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it in chocolate or a miracle or two? The Candy Man. Oh, the Candy Man can. The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Who can take a rainbow, wrap it in a sigh, soak it in the sun and make a lemon cherry pie? The Candy Man. Oh, the Candy Man can. The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candy Man makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sallow and collect up all the cream? The Candy Man. Oh, the Candy Man can. The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candy Man makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sallow and collect up all the cream? The Candy Man. Oh, the Candy Man can. The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. The Candy Man, 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 the Candy Man. Thank you. You're much too generous to me. Much too nice. This next song, I could not do a show without doing this song. It is very dear to me, means a great deal to me. And now, without further ado, Knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you with worn out shoes, with silver hair, a ragged shirt, and baggy pants. He would do the old soft shoe, and he could jump so high, jump so high. Then he lightly touched down. I met him in a cell down in New Orleans. I was, you see, I was down and out. He looked to me to be the very eyes of age. As the smoke ran out, talked of life, Lord, he talked of life. Laughed, clicked his heels and stepped. He said his name was Bojangles. Then he danced a lick right across the cell. He grabbed his pants, did a bit of stance, and then he clicked his heels. That's when he clicked his heel. Then he let out a laugh. Lord, he let out a laugh that shook his clothes all around. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. He told me how he worked in minstrel shows throughout the South. He spoke through tears of 15 years, how his dog and he, they travel all about. Then his dog up and died. His dog just got old and died. And after 20 years, he still breathes. He said, now a chance, a time of dance, a honky-tonk for my drinks and tips. But most of the time, I spend my time behind these county bars, you see, son. I drinks a bit. Then he shook his head. Lord, Lord, he shook his head. And I swear I could hear somebody say, please, please, please. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, the man he could dance.
Wow. Hasn't this been an unbelievable night? We want to thank you for tuning in, and we ask you to continue to support our troops and veterans everywhere, those at home and those who are overseas. They are richly deserving of our prayers and admiration. To you who continue to serve, we are here counting the minutes until you are home safe and sound. And now, like we always do, we close our show by saying, thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memory of candlelight and wine, castles on the Rhine, the Parthenon and moments on the Hudson River line. How lovely it was. Thanks for the memories of rainy afternoons, those swingy Harlem tunes, the motor trips and burning lips and burning toast and prunes. How lovely it was. Many's the times that we feasted, and many's the time that we fasted. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. We did have fun, so no harm done. And thanks for the memory of sunburns on the shore, nights in Singapore. You may have been a headache, but you never were a bore. So thank you so much. Thanks for the memory of songs from Doris Day, quartets like Forte, the chuckles, laughs, and giggles from the funny things you say. How lovely it was. And thanks for the memory of Sammy, he's the man, singing for his fans, that song and dance Bojangles and my favorite Candyman. How lovely it was. They served in places exotic, and conflicts and wars so chaotic. That makes us feel patriotic. For all you do, our thanks to you, and thanks for the memory of all the special shows played by the USO. Bob Hope and all his friends would entertain us, and although it seems like only yesterday, but it was long ago, we thank you so
And with that, the USO show was ended. Bob Hope, his band of entertainers, and his technical crew flew out, shipped out, and motored on to their next stop. Bob really did serve this great nation proudly, as did the men and women he entertained. Today, we unfortunately live in a world where wars and conflicts still exist. And while we may wish that one day those wars and conflicts will cease, we must acknowledge that our country's very existence was the result of a war. From the Revolution to the Civil War to the War on Terrorism, we pondered this question: is this worth fighting for?
I saw a peaceful old valley with a carpet of corn for a floor, and I heard a voice within me whisper, "This is worth fighting for."
eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. His truth is marching on. Hallelujah. Amen.
This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the whole, for this is my country to have and to hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for coming out this evening. And how about these great entertainers who have graced our stage? Keep that round of applause going for something special. Ladies and gentlemen, Forte. As Doris Day, the wonderful Sheila Childs. As Sammy Davis Jr., Jerry Covington. For all our chapter quartets, Close Quarters, Notified, and Northern Lights Gospel Quartet. Of course, the entire Heart of Lakes Harmony Chorus. And last but certainly not least, our Bob Hope, Mr. Lee Brenna.
I pledge thee my allegiance, America